to the Happy Handyman Show. Boys, it's been a couple of weeks again, and I am so happy to be back. Those of you that are watching on Facebook, hey, welcome back. If you have any questions out on Facebook, just give me a little note there, and I'll be sure and get to them later after the show. Let me tell you where we're located. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway, and the store is Johnny Chook's Home and Hardware, and I am broadcasting live from there. And then the store will be open till 6:30 today. Tomorrow, for your convenience, 11 to 5. Anything I talk about today, if you have a question, you could call the store, 210-341-1573, or come on by. I'll be here tomorrow and to help you with any of your do-it-yourself questions. I have a lot to talk about today and so many exciting things to tell you, show you. I got to actually have off a day on Sunday, and then of course we were closed on Thanksgiving. So usually what that means is I go home and I try all these newer things that I haven't had a chance to yet, and I want to tell y'all about that. I want to tell you that in December the 20th, we will be having another event where Santa Claus will be here, and so your kids can come by, your pets can come by. He is a wonderful Santa Claus. And then we're also going to have several pop-ups that day, and it's just a fun time to get to celebrate in the store. If you haven't come by today, we are having Stocking Stuffer Weekend, which means we pull together about 20 to 30 items that are $20 and under, that are great small little gifts that you can give to people that just somebody that you don't want to forget, okay? Or just to put inside stockings. But let's get started. First of all, I'm going to tell you about something. You're not able to buy it yet, but I am super excited about it. In fact, it's so new, it doesn't even have a label on it. Let me tell you a little story. About 3 or 4 years ago, I came across a company called Magic Clear Lens, okay? And Magic Clear Lens was a way to clean your headlight. How many of you go around and you see people's headlights and they look like they're fogged, and you say fog because it looks like it's something that comes from the inside, but it's not. It is where the sun and grime and road dirt and have damaged the outside of the headlight. And there's a lot of headlight cleaners out there that most of them, well, all of them that I know that work, require that you sand off a layer of acrylic on your headlight. So in other words, it will damage the top of the headlight, and once you sand it all off, then you have to add another clear coat on top of it. Which, does it work? Yes, it does. It does work. Does it take a lot of time? It does. It takes a lot of time, and you have to be willing to sand and be real careful about it, and then put on a clear coat. And then I also noticed that they suggest you not be driving the car right after that. But then about 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was that long ago, I ran across this product called Magic Clear Lens, where all you had to do was clean the lens with a couple of swipes of a towel, and that was it. It would immediately remove all the damage on the headlight, and the lens would become clear again. And I wanted it because the car that I had at the time, I was starting to notice that the headlight was showing damage. And I don't know about you, but you can have a car and it looks absolutely beautiful. You can tell they take care of it, but then when the headlight is cloudy looking, foggy looking, it just makes the whole car kind of look sad, right? But then when the lenses are clean, the car looks so much younger. It looks like it's worth more. And so I started buying Magic Clear Lens from this gentleman. And about a year ago, I was talking with them, and they decided not to go forward with Magic Clear Lens anymore. They were at a point in their life where they didn't want to do that anymore, and I got the opportunity to obtain Magic Clear Lens, which was huge for me, huge, because it is such a special product. And right now, I don't even have labels to these. I'm not going to go and start selling these really until like January of next year. But I can give out samples all I want to. And so if you want to come into the store, if you hear my voice today and you have a headlight that is cloudy and it makes it very dangerous to drive at night because it completely like blocks your light on your headlight, then come on in. I will give you a sample, tell you how to use it on your car, and let you clean your own. So it's going to be selling under the name of Trudy's Headlight Magician. And come on in. And then after the first of the year, we will be selling this out on its own website. And it's just an amazing. Now, let me tell you, the headlight cleaner is a maintenance thing. Okay, so just like when your car gets dirty, your headlight gets dirty. And this is something that if you wash your car like every other month, I'm doing good to do that, then you want to clean your headlight, and I'll tell you all about it. So if you have a question about it, you can remark here on Facebook. You can call the store, ask for me, and I will tell you all about it. If you want a sample, come into the store and I'll be happy to do that for you. Alrighty. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a wooden deck that is elevated about 6 or 8 inches. And to me, I don't like decks. I much rather have concrete patio because nothing can get underneath a concrete patio. A deck, all kinds of things crawl under there. Raccoons, squirrels, and skunks. Oh, and possums. Oh my gosh. Well, recently I have noticed that there is a skunk coming and going under my deck. And that is very frustrating because my little dog Maxwell knows no fear. And he has been skunked twice, and I personally do not want to go through it a third time. And we have this product called Skunk Scram. Okay, there's also one called Cat Scram. Well, I just went by what everybody told me about Cat Scram, and it's all really good reviews. And then when they finally came out with this, company came out with a Skunk Scram, I decided I'm getting that. And so on Sunday, it pours, it's a granule, it's all natural. You don't have to worry, like if you want to put it out in your garden and stuff like that, it won't harm the plants. If you put it out in the yard, you don't have to worry about if your cat gets around it or your dog gets around it. It's completely all natural. And so you don't have to worry about anything. And it doesn't stink. Okay, that was the first thing I was worried about on Sunday when I decided that, hey, I am so tired of seeing this skunk. And so I poured it out underneath where my deck, I have some areas in my deck that are open. And so I poured it all underneath there. They suggested that you put it in like a sock or something and throw it underneath the deck, but I had enough areas in my deck that I could pour it down in the where the boards didn't come together, and so I would pour it down in that, and it's very fine granules, okay? But let me tell you, I haven't seen that skunk. And it said it would take like 2 or 3 days before you would not see any new activity, and I haven't seen any activity at all. And I will give you updates if that stinking skunk comes around my house anymore. it just makes it hard because you can't let your dog in the backyard because of the skunk. Now you can put this all over the yard if you want to, but if you have just an area where it seems like, see, my deck, because it's open underneath, is just a catch-all for any kind of animal walking through. And I am tired of skunks. So if skunks are your problem, Skunk Scram is what you need to get. And it's not super expensive. All right, now, I know that I talked to y'all about the new triple light. And many of y'all have probably seen them out on Facebook because they must be pouring the money into advertising this. This is a family-owned business. I buy it through Do It Best. And they make a 50 lumen, they make a 300 lumen, they make an 800 lumen, and they make a 1,000 lumen flashlight. Well, I got the 300 because it's a nice weight. It comes with batteries. It's got 3 different flashes. It's got a high, it's got a low, and it's got a flashing in case you wanted to keep it in the car and you got in trouble and you wanted flashing lights. But let me tell you, this flashlight, it lights up my whole front yard, the whole front yard, and across the street to my neighbor's yard. How do I know this? Because there were deer across the way, and I did not see them until I flashed this flashlight over there, and of course they stared me down. But these flashlights, these triple lights, they are so good. The man that made it, it's like 180 degrees across the top of the head of this flashlight. So it lights up tons of space. Like I said, it lights up my whole front yard just from my sidewalk. And the idea was that you would not step on anything because you don't have to move it back and forth, where on most flashlights, it's just one kind of cylinder light. This lights up everything. I'm telling you, if you need a good gift for somebody, these are really good gifts. Yes, such a good gift. All right, now I've got a new, if you do any kind of electrical work around your house, you always want to be careful that even though, because this has happened to me, you'll go out to your circuit, or where your circuit breakers are, and you turn it off, and where it's labeled, it says where it is, and then you go, and guess what? That's not that plug, and it's hot. And if you're smart, you had a lamp plugged into it, and if you go in there and the lamp is still on, then you know. Well, there's all kinds of other things, because if pulling a lamp over there is not convenient. I got a new tester kit. It is a very convenient little tester kit. It's got 2 pieces in it. All you would ever need as far as testing to see if something is hot. One is a non-contact voltage tester. It just looks like a pencil, and you just touch it to wherever you want to be, the plug, the switch, whatever, and it'll tell you there's power there. And then another piece on here is one that actually goes into the plug, okay, and it lights up, and it gives you a schedule on there that what's hot, what's not, if it's got a open ground, if it's got an open hot, okay, and then it tells you it's perfect, and it'll light up that way. But they're just so nice to have. They're not expensive for both of them, and it's good to have in your little tool chest. So these are really, really good. Now, I talked to y'all, I guess it's been 2 weeks since I had a show, about the new light bulb that I found through Do It Best, and it's a Satco bulb. It's not a Philips bulb, but it is a Satco. They probably make Satco. And it's a par 38 flood. So what is a par 38 flood? It looks just like what you normally put in your outdoor floodlight, okay? And this one is a dusk to dawn, okay? This is what I liked about this. It's not a motion detector, okay, because you have to have motion to set them off. This is just dusk to dawn. It's just as convenient as the little 60-watt ones that we put on our outdoor lights across the front, okay, or across the front of your house, the light fixtures. But if you want one in the back where you have floodlights and things like that, there were none, only motion detectors. So this dusk to dawn one will come on, and this is what's nice because it gets dark so soon. I mean, at 5:30, it's going dark. By 6 o'clock, it is dark. And so it's nice to have light out there because where there's light, there's security. And I just, you know, I like that. All right. So let me tell you where we're located again. I know I'm talking 90 miles an hour. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. The store's going to be open till 6:30 today. The phone number here is 210-341-1573. I want to say hi to Karen and to Jean and to Cindy. Thank you so much for watching on Facebook right now. And if you have a question, and also if you see something that I'm talking about and you don't live here, because we've had several people do this, and they just send me a little note on Facebook and they say, hey, that thing you were talking about, I can't find it here. Can you send it to me? Absolutely. We do that. I send out stuff every day. We have an article that goes into Houston. It got picked up by the Chronicle, the Houston Chronicle. And I put an article out there every week. And so we ship out every day. So if you want something, all you got to do is ask and we'll ship it to you. All right, now, how many of you have your freeze protection lined up? I know it's not that cold right now, but you know what happens here. It can be 60 degrees one day, and then all of a sudden at night, it drops down to 28, and it happens that fast. So how are you prepared for freeze protection? Are you gonna just put in the little hard kind of things that go against the house and cover your faucet? They make one that's like a sock, that's very flexible and things like that. Or are you gonna do what I'm gonna do? And that is, I'm gonna use a freeze miser. And right now on Facebook, I'm showing you what a freeze miser looks like. They're super simple to use. There is no heavy duty thought process with this. You literally, if you can screw on a garden hose, that's all the technology that it takes to use a freeze miser. You put it on your faucet, you turn the faucet on. Since the weather right now is not cold, nothing will happen. But the minute that the water temperature, not the air temperature, drops down to, I think it's 35 degrees, then it will start dripping. How does it know how to do that? There's a wax on the inside of a freeze miser that is affected by the temperature. That's right. And so if it starts getting cold, this wax shrinks up. And when it shrinks up, it allows the water to drip through your freeze miser. When the temperature goes back up again, the wax gets bigger again, and then it stops everything. Now, how do you want to use your freeze miser when, I mean, one day we can have freezing weather and the next day you could water your plants outside, right? Yeah. And you don't want to just not water. And I think that's a lot of people do this. And then that's why come springtime their grass looks so bad, is we forget to water. And, but let me show you what I do. There is what they call a Y hose shutoff. Okay, and those of you that are watching on Facebook, I'm showing you what to do. And you put that on your faucet. And the Y will give you two connections. One side, you put your freeze miser on. The other side, you still attach your garden hose to. Then you turn the water on and turn the water off on the side of the garden hose, but leave it on the side of the freeze miser. Then if one day you want to water the flowers, water the grass, it's your day to water, you turn it off on the freeze miser side and you turn the water on your garden hose side. And that way you get the best of both worlds, and you don't have to be taking it off and on, and if you're like me, you would forget to put it back on. So this is what I do. I know it seems kind of early to put them on, but I'm telling you, when the temperature starts dropping here, they will be so hard to find. So get them now. Right now, the ones I have, I bought a whole bunch last year. And so the prices are the same as last year, but they are going up. So do yourself a favor and buy them now. And that's all I'm saying. They come in a single and they come in a 2-pack. Now, if you have a greenhouse outside, a well house, a boat house, and sometimes it gets so cold that you'll lose your water because of your well house freezes up, get yourself a thermal cube. Just get a thermal cube. It is kind of like the freeze miser. It works with, it gets with temperature. It will turn on at 35 degrees. When the air is 35 degrees, it will come on. And whatever you have plugged into it comes on also. So plug in a heat lamp. Just plug in something that will give you enough heat to keep everything toasty enough not to freeze. It used to be, I could say, put you a 100-watt incandescent out there, but we don't have those anymore. So you have to do like a heat lamp. And so now the only incandescents that you can get are the ones that are for like the garage door opener and oven lights and things like that. But this is a great thing just to keep around and plug it in, and then if the temperature drops, whatever you have out there will come on. All right, so I got this gift. What time is it? Okay. I got this gift from the command people. I get, whenever I go to the shows and stuff, they hand me gifts all the time because they want me to check them out, and if I like them, then I'll buy them. So Command had these great little clips that you could put like on the side of your furniture. How many of you have like a phone charging plug on the side of the bed, and you have your phone charged into that because you use that phone for everything? If somebody like my mom, she's going to call me at night, and that phone better be on and it better be ringing if she calls me. And so what I like to do is I like to run that phone cord up beside there, so but hold it there in place so I don't have to go chasing it when I unplug my phone. Okay, so Command strips had these little clips that were all black, and they would hold that cord in there. I didn't want the black ones. They make a clear one, and they are great to hold phone cards. This is a one that will hold 0.5 pounds, and the opening is a perfect size for a phone charger cord. So go by and get that, and then you won't have to be chasing those down all the time when you undo them from your phone. All right, so we just had a holiday, okay, and maybe now some of your drains and sinks are running a little slow. So maybe they're not stopped up, but they're running a little slow. Let me suggest something to you. Keep that green gobbler around. Green gobbler has been around for a long time. It's a bleach-free formula. I mean, it's not caustic to your drains. It's great for removing grease, soap, and toilet paper. So if you have a toilet that's running just a little slow, I mean, it flushes, but it takes a little time to go through, use a green gobbler before it gets so bad that you have to use something really caustic, or you have to put something down, or worse, call a plumber. And this green gobbler is really good for that. And see, soap, how many of you have like sink drains, and like maybe on your husband's side, he's using shaving cream all the time, and that stuff gets like lead inside those pipes. So use the green gobbler, use it for maintenance, and just, it's real easy and convenient to use, and then it also gets rid of hair. You need the headlight. I just had Nancy respond on Facebook. She goes, Trudy, I need that headlight cleaner. You come into the store, I'll be happy to give you a sample of it and tell you how to use it. All right, so green gobbler is something I would just keep around the house just for maintenance. How about your dishwasher? Is your dishwasher, after running like about several cycles and maybe somebody loaded it for you and they left too much stuff in there? Get you a dishwasher cleaner that works. I mean, this one is made by Glisten. It used to be called Dishwasher Magic, and it removes and what's so nice, when you run this stuff through your dishwasher, when you open up your dishwasher, that dishwasher will look brand new. I mean, like sparkle. It's really good stuff. All right, let me tell you where we're located again. We're at 2361 Northwest Military Highway. Store is going to be open to 6:30. I want to remind you again about the sample that you can come by the store and get if you have a headlight that is totally damaged. And I'll give it to you and show you how to use it. That's it for this week, folks. It's time for you to roll up your sleeves and get busy on some of these projects we've been talking about. But by all means, you remember one thing: it will always be a great day to paint. See you next week. Maybe.